Hello and welcome back to the AapnaReds podcast, the podcast that brings you everything you'd expect from a normal football podcast. But we've got some added masala mix to it this week, and especially with the podcast that we have coming up for you guys, talking about the big one, the game we've all been looking forward to this season, the one that pretty much could decide the fates of the Premier League as we know it. That is Liverpool versus Manchester City at Anfield. And also a big game in the Europa League as well when we face Sparta Prague. Is that one right?
That's the one.
Just checking.
Bravo.
And as always, we never know at this point. There's too many teams to keep up with. But as always, to talk about it, I'm joined by Anno. Anno, how are you feeling? How's the nerves? Have they got to you yet? And are you ready for this big game?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Squeaky bum time, innit? Squeaky bum time. This one is make or break. Make or break. It's kind of. Come on, let's break it down. There's three things that are going to happen: win, lose, or draw. Let's break them all down. So Liverpool win. We put ourselves 5 points ahead of City.
I believe.
Are we 2 ahead at the moment?
One at the moment. So we'd go.
Okay. So 4 ahead.
Then,
that gives us a potential 1 game advantage, or when I say 1 game advantage, potentially you could lose one. But then because Arsenal are so close behind, does it really make a difference?
Yeah.
They're 2 points behind.
They are, yeah.
They're 2 points. Okay, so yeah. So draw allows Arsenal to go top.
Yeah.
Loss allows Arsenal to go top.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only one option, really, isn't there? We've got to go all out and try and get that win. If I would always think of it this way, I suppose if you're title challengers and you win the Premiership, you should be the team that everybody was scared to face.
Yeah.
And Man City come to Anfield, they should be worried.
Yeah.
And they should be hoping for a point.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, we've talked about it so many times, the amount of injuries we got, what team's going to come out? If we've got a bunch of kids playing against City, we're going to get annihilated. What you reckon?
I think you've said it all there, but we've said it so many times on this podcast. You have to win this game, like you've said. Yeah. If you want to be called league champions, you need to win against your challengers. I look back at the season we won the league. We beat the teams that we needed to beat, and it was fair to say we were the best team and rightfully deserved to win it, even though the COVID interruption has delegitimized that win. But I look at the season where we came close and lose it on the last day. And the last thing you want is to be relying on other teams. It's just too painful to deal with. And it's
in our hands, isn't it? It's in our hands.
Exactly it. Yeah, you don't want to be dealing with, them facing West Ham on the last day and us going to get a result against Wolves. It's not what you want. You want to be the masters of your own destiny. And when you've got 2 teams breathing down your neck, knowing that they both have to face each other, it reminds you that you are the one that can basically make life easy for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no excuses really at this point. If you want to win the league, you have to beat the holders, beat the champions. And I hope that Liverpool can do that this week.
But that's the thing, isn't it? If you're going to beat the team that are going for, is it 4 in a row, 5 in a row?
Yeah, 4 in a row.
If you want to be the team that beats that team, then you've basically got to beat them. You can't, like I say, you can't rely on other results. What do you reckon? Slogfest or very tense, tight game?
I think it's going to be an end-to-end game. I think it's going to be chances galore everywhere. I think there's going to be. I think it's going to be less cagey than normal. I think both teams will know that a point's not really good enough for them. I think a point's probably better. Would you say points better for City, or would you say points better for Liverpool?
No,
points better for
City would be happy with a point.
Yeah,
I think if they lose, then obviously that cushion is gone. Where if we lose, they could go past us. So I think a point for them keeps them within 1 game.
Yeah,
1 loss from us, away from us. A draw for Arsenal would be like the most amazing result.
Of course, a perfect result, wouldn't it? Knowing that they could put 5-6 past the next team that they face and it not be an issue for them. So
exactly. So a draw only favours City and Arsenal. I think nothing but a win. But on a normal day, with our first full squad, and the Anfield crowd, I'd say it'd be an amazing game. And you know what it is. We've had games in the past where we've absolutely blown them away in like early 10, 20, 30 minutes. And then, Pep Guardiola's been screaming on the sidelines thinking, what's going on? All my tactical plays gone out the window. I'd love it to be one of those games, but I can't see it.
No.
I can't see it just because of the injuries. So unless our players, our second team, just bring it out the bag and think, you know what, forget this. Let's show these lot what we're made of. But I think it's going to be a KG. I think it's a KG type game.
Yeah. Do you think this is the best City team that we've faced, though? I mean, I look at how they've played this season. I don't think they're the best version of themselves. Arguably, they've got the best team now with the players that they've brought in. They've got so much in that team. But to me, they aren't playing their best football whatsoever. I think we saw, this weekend, really, against United, they were really like nowhere near it for most of the game, but still somehow get a result, having to pull it out deep against a team that's wanted to sit back as well. Took some stunners to get them there, but at the same time, to have that determination against your rivals, knowing that it means so much, arguably that probably works in their favour, in that sense that they've beaten their rivals, going on that momentous high. But then Liverpool came back and got a result in the 99th minute. So which position would you rather be in? Would you rather have got a result against the team that, are languishing at the bottom of the league and you just about managed to get the win? Or would you rather be in the sort of momentum City on where you beat your rivals and you got the bragging rights going into this game?
Well, obviously Cities. Yeah. I think the problem we've got is Foden. His form at the moment is just unbelievable. I mean, Haaland's. I mean, you can't say his form's dipping because he missed a goal because he scored about 5 goals the other day, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's on form. De Bruyne has come back and he's just been on fire. So they're front three. Doku as well on the left. He's hard to handle. So attacking wise, we're looking a bit on the the downside. But then our back line defense isn't weakened. So I suppose that'll be a good battle. But then they've got like Stones who's coming out and created this new position where he starts at centre back and ends up as a striker. And how are we going to deal with that? Are we going to have to put Endo on him? I don't know. It's going to be a tough game, man. But in terms of momentum, I think City have got the momentum.
Yeah.
More than us. Our performances haven't been the greatest. The last 2 games we've played, we've got a result.
Yeah.
But we've done it the hard way. City have got results and they've done it the easy way. So we're gonna have to pull something out of the bag. We're gonna have to, mix some haldi and some dod and bring out the old school guns. Bring out the old school guns.
How much do you think the Anfield crowd's going to play into this? Because obviously the last few weeks, the atmosphere has been absolutely incredible, but it needs to be at its utmost height for this game, I think.
We're not winning without the Anfield crowd. We're not winning this game without the Anfield crowd. No chance. And every player you listen to talking about Anfield, they say it's a hard place to come and it's so difficult and the crowd is so loud. That's what we need. We need Haaland to get booed or like laughed at when he misses, drop his confidence. We need Endo to make, De Bruyne look like he's just an average player. We need Robbo to give, Foden a few kicks so that he pushes him off his game. And we need Bradley to just man mark Doku and show him that he's not that good. Asking for a lot there, aren't I?
We are asking for so much.
If Alisson's not there, we need little Alisson to just be on form as well. And it's just, oh man, you look at their team and it's like RoboCop. It's like being created from the perfect specimen and just put into a machine. I don't know. I don't know.
That's a frustrating thing though, that for us, we're saying that Liverpool need to be absolutely perfect in every environment. This player needs to be perfect. This person needs to be on their form. But then with City, it's like they could be half capacity, half well, and still somehow put up a decent fight and somehow get results.
They've not been on form. And look where they are.
No,
they've not even hit second, third gear yet. They're just literally cruising at the moment. they were, I think, even though they kept getting results, they were looking a little bit like they were going to face problems when De Bruyne was injured.
Yeah.
And they lost a couple of games, and you thought, okay, here we go, found a chink in the armor.
Yeah.
We need one of the doctors to go and see De Bruyne before the game and just
take some hockey sticks,
do a bit of nuzzard, or take a hockey stick, teach him a different sport. It ain't gonna happen. We don't condone violence, but on this occasion, we might do. We need someone to put on House of Pain during a wedding and just absolutely slaughter him and rugby tackle him to the ground.
Or we just send some samosa to his house, like anonymous samosa to his house, and just let him eat like a whole dub of them and see what happens on the Sunday.
No, we need to just, spike the whole team with like steroids and then just get the whole team banned for 18 months. It's the only chance.
That's right. Their charges, it will take them 4 years to figure out what punishment they're going to get with Man City and their.
That's crazy as well, man. I don't think we've talked about that, have we? We haven't talked about that. The amount of charges that they've got. That is crazy. Like, what are they going to do? Like, look at Everton and Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's the worst thing, though. Don't you think that, say City go on and win the league this season and Klopp's last year, and it comes out in 2 years' time, they have cheated and they're going to strip all these titles away. Do you think it to me, it wouldn't mean anything? It would hurt even more.
It'll take away.
It was robbed away, when we could have had that perfect farewell. I look at the season where Coutinho almost won us the league as well. It's like these little moments where, they could have gone either way. And it could have, we'd be talking about the greatest, dynasty created in reality, with the fact that Klopp and what he's done with, how close he's got these teams. So, Arsenal would be celebrating the fact that they won the league as well. So it's devastating. And I think for me, that's what is more.
Has that ever happened?
What?
Like, has any team ever had their title stripped?
Not in the Premier League, but it happened in Italy. Juventus had all their titles stripped. They got shipped down.
Who was given the league, and then how did it work? Did they have like a trophy ceremony or?
Yeah, they just gave them the trophy and said you won. I think it was up to the teams then whether they celebrated it, but they were given the.
You have to bring Klopp back in a couple of years' time, and it just for a gospel.
But it's just that's the last thing you'd want, though, and I think that's what is pushing me even further, knowing that they could do all this, and then it could be coming out that they cheated, it's just not. It would kill me even more knowing that that's what ruined the Klopp farewell in my eyes.
I think I've got a bit of sympathy for Guardiola and the team, because technically they're just doing their job, and I think the back boardroom have basically done something dodgy that's going to.
Do you want to hear a story about Pep Guardiola?
Go on.
So Pep Guardiola I only found this out recently, but I lost a lot of respect for him, to be honest with you.
Okay, go on.
So Pep, at the end of his playing career, he went and played over in Italy, played for Brescia, I think. And when he was over there, it got hidden away that he was done for doping, that he was taking something. The doctor there had given him something that was a legal substance, and he got done for doping. He said
he knew about it.
Yeah,
he knew about it.
Okay. He said he didn't. He said he didn't know what was taking it. It got given to me, but he got done for doping at that time, and he was banned from football from it. The doctor lost his job, and then what is the funniest thing is when Pep a few years later goes into coaching, goes on to work at Barcelona. The first thing he did is he hired that same doctor for the Barcelona backroom staff, and then we see this bionic Barcelona team with Messi, who was this team that was never ever injured, playing absolutely incredible.
He's found a way to hide the doping.
No allegations, but it's very interesting that same doctor that was committed a crime.
He felt guilty, didn't he? Yeah, he obviously felt guilty about making him lose his job.
That's some proper up on our stuff, that is. You know what I mean? That's some proper uncle. You know what I mean? I'll get you an Ockley over here. You know what I mean? That's dodgy stuff. So I lost a bit of
that.
When all these things follow Pep and everything at Barca, and it adds up to me that something's not right, and it follows a certain man.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, fair enough. That gives me some food for thought.
There you go. So we can leave that for the viewers as well, as if you've never heard of that, find out that Pep Guardiola, maybe he's got his own doctor surgery. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe his parents wanted him to be a doctor, so he started.
There's got to be ways of hiding this stuff, man. You know how they do all these blood transfusions and they take out the blood, so it's not in the blood. So even if you have a blood test, it won't show up positive. These are got billions of pounds behind them. Of course they're doing something, man. Of course they are. There's got to be ways. There has to be ways. You can't have a team that good for that long, man. There's got to be something.
Of course. Well, at least we only cheat with getting players to use inhalers. So like we're doing it in a healthier way, I'd argue.
Oh, what was that? What story is that?
Oh God, you don't know about this?
Which one's this? Go on.
Oh, so apparently the big thing is Liverpool cheat because a lot of the Liverpool team have now been registered as asthmatic.
Asthmatic.
So when they join the,
is this a recent thing?
There's no but since Klopp was in, apparently a lot of the players never had asthma, no records of asthma. But on their medical at Liverpool,
that's bullshit. I'll tell you what that is. Klopp runs them so hard that they all just run out of air.
Well, apparently so.
They're all, so they don't have to run. So they don't have to run. They're getting doctor's notes saying I'm asthmatic. That's what that is.
So that's it. Liverpool players are taking blue inhalers. Man City financially and doping apparently. So we don't know.
Nah, that's just the players getting too much out of Klopp, man. I mean, Klopp trying to get too much out of the players. They're just coming in with doctor's notes in it. Look, it's probably their moms writing a note to listen. My son is asthmatic. It's like here's his inhaler. I've sent it in. I've spent one. He needs to keep one on him. He needs to keep one spare in the office. Don't make him run too much.
I think that was my mom, to be fair. But then let's go back to City. Let's talk about their team and what sort of issues they could cause. You mentioned Foden, mentioned Haaland, but defensively, do you think they're the same sort of threat that they were in terms of they were unstoppable really when it came to you couldn't get a goal past them. Ederson was stopping everything, but to me it just does not seem they're that same City team whatsoever. They haven't got the same personnel. They've leaked quite a few goals this season as well against really poor teams. Chelsea have put a good few goals past them as well. So what do you think?
I think they're in a position where they don't really care whether. I mean, they care. They want to try and keep clean sheets, but I don't think it bothers them as much if a team scores past them.
Yeah,
Man United go 1-0 up. I don't think for 1 second in their brain they were thinking, "Oh, well, we're going to lose 1-0." They were probably just thinking, "Okay, when." It's not if, when we're going to score.
Yeah,
and I think that's how they play. So even if we go, I prefer, if I'm honest, I know this is a a hard take or what do you call it, a different take. I'd probably prefer us to go down 1-0 first half.
Don't be saying this. I can't be dealing with it.
I genuinely believe that Liverpool play better when they're coming from behind, when they got something to play for, and when they go ahead and they're trying to control the game. I don't think they're as good.
Yeah.
So my ideal would be a 2-1 Liverpool win, us going 1-0 down. So I don't want to say it. Now, it is possible. Like you said, their defense hasn't been the best, but they've still got good players. They've still got really good players. Diaz against Walker would be a good battle.
Yeah.
Stones against, don't know who's it going to be. It won't be Jota. It'll be Gakpo.
Yeah, it's probably going to be
Dance by the looks of it, isn't it?
Could be Nunes. You never know. Nana might be playing up top.
Yeah, Nunes. I don't know if he'll put him on the right unless Salah's coming.
You never know.
I don't know, man.
I think it's a game where I probably would want Gakpo to start and then have Nunes to come on, just because Gakpo plays off those two defenders. Nunes runs in behind. It's I'd rather have Nunes energy a bit later on, just causing a bit of havoc. Diaz and Gakpo, just have them. They haven't been, prolific, but they've still scored goals in the past few weeks. And I think, having that little option, someone dropping a bit deeper. If Sob's playing and McAllister's playing, makes it a bit more sort of advanced in that midfield. But I think, I'd save Nunes for a little later on because I'm sure Guardiola's got a contingency plan for Nana Nunes.
Yeah, and if he comes on a bit later when he's got energy and the players are a bit tired, I think he'll probably be more effective. Yeah, you're right. You're probably right.
What do you think is going to happen with the right back position? Obviously, we've seen Joe Gomez play at right back. We've seen Conor Bradley obviously play, but it's the big one. It really is the big one. And what decision do you think he'll make? I mean, Gomez has played absolutely everywhere. He's been playing CDM. He's been playing Endo's role for the past 2 games. He's played pretty well, but
played pretty well. Yeah, he's not too bad, and he's had a few chances as well by going forward. I would still prefer, like I said, we talked about it on the last pod. I still think Conor Bradley's got that position nailed down now as a right back. I quite like him there. I'm quite comfortable with him. Against Doku, though, what do you reckon? He'd have to have Konate with him, wouldn't he? He'd have to have a bit of backup from Konate. But yeah, it's a tough one.
I think we're going to need that Bradley sort of movement into midfield, though, and he seems a lot more comfortable doing that than Gomez. And I think
he was good. He was good the other day. Was he playing up front? He was playing on the front.
He was playing on the wing, yeah. So, and when we know that City are going to try and overload in the midfield as well, you're going to need to match that. And having Bradley come in,
I don't think Gomez has got it in him to stop Doku, though.
No, whatsoever. I don't think Bradley does, to be honest with you. But having Konate,
I'd take Bradley over Trent against Doku.
Yeah,
because Trent was struggling last time we played against him. Yeah, man. It's a tough one. It's a good team that we're playing, man. It's a bit. What do you do? What do you do? But I think the thing on our side is that 1, Anfield, and 2, Klopp's last season. So we have got some motivation. We're not lacking motivation.
No.
And the fact that if we beat them, we're 4 points clear.
Yeah.
So lacking motivation can't be an excuse. Lacking quality compared to the opposition. We need to believe in our boys, man. We need to believe that they're going to be able to do it. But the kiddo, man, we're going to have to see what happens. It's going to be a tough one, isn't it? It's going to be a tough one.
It really is. And another point is Kelleher as well. No Alisson. And to be honest, I'm a bit glad that Kelleher's playing because Alisson seems to drop his disaster class every single year against City. So if there's ever a game that Alisson's sitting out of, I'm kind of glad that it is this one. But
he's on form as well. You know what I mean? He's coming in with like momentum. So sometimes when a player comes back from injury, they're not quite the same. But if Alisson's fit, he'll play.
I think the big thing for me is the physicality side of it. Is corners. We're going to need Kelleher to come out and relieve, but he is not going to be fighting 6'4" Erling Haaland or John Stones and trying to get.
That's a good point.
It's not going to work. Whereas Alisson,
you know what? I think Van Dijk's got him. I think Van Dijk's got him. I think Haaland would be scary, but we've got Van Dijk on form. We got Van Dijk on form. We got Ibrahim Konate on form. So 2 of our beast centre backs are touchwood not going to be injured and play the game. I think they can deal with Haaland. Robertson against Foden is a worry for me.
Yeah, I think Robertson's struggled a little bit since he's come back.
He's not quite got that minute. He's not got his boy on the other side, isn't it?
No, that's what it is.
For assists and so I think that's kind of changed his mentality. But Doku on the left and Foden on the right. De Bruyne, Endo's probably going to have to try and stop him play. There's no argument, is there? You'd always have De Bruyne over Endo. I mean, I know I'm a Liverpool fan, but we're not going to talk nonsense just for the sake of talking nonsense. De Bruyne is world class. Having Endo up against him, you probably have to double up with McAllister as well, and maybe both of them kind of stop the play from happening in midfield. So you might have to have like 2 number 6s. I don't know though, but then it's Anfield. If we go all out, City are quite weak on the counter.
Yeah,
all the goals that have been scored against them tend to be on counters because they leave a lot of space behind. They do like to push up quite a lot, which is why Nunes would be perfect for a game like this. You know what I mean? But you just need Jota to be that. You need Jota there as well, don't you? Like calmness, controlling, putting the ball in at the right pace. 50-50, man. It's 50. I know it's Anfield at home, but I feel like it's 50-50. Whoever's on form on the day might take the points.
What's the score prediction then? What are you feeling heading into the game then?
I think I said it. 2-1 Liverpool. We go 1-0 behind and we do a masterclass comeback. Anfield all over City when we score 1. And then they fumble and we score a second. And then we take it out till the end.
Okay.
2-1.
I'm going to go with I'm feeling a 2-0 for some reason. I can see us scoring maybe just before half-time. And then the second half just being an absolute barrage, and it being a almost like an Alisson created goal that we see of a ball over the top that will end up finding the feet of Nunes somehow, and I think it'll polish the game off. I do see a McAllister red card though. I think there's going to be so many tactical fouls, and I can see him getting 2 yellows and getting sent off.
Is that before or after the 2-0?
I think it's going to be at 1-0. I think McAllister's going to get
sent off. We're going to score a goal against them with 10 men and carry on and win the game.
I think that's the
that's
vibe I'm going for. At Anfield,
that is
I'm
a
going
bold
for
prediction.
it, and then a goal to rescue us 2-0. It's giving me like the vibes of that Champions League game we played against them, where they just absolutely slaughtered us, but we just kept hitting them with goals at Anfield, and it was just chaos everywhere. But I think they're going to have a few goals disallowed. I can see them scoring first and it being disallowed, but I think Liverpool are going to keep a clean sheet, score 2, and McAllister's going to get sent off.
Yeah, we'll see.
Crazy game, eh?
That's the one, man. We'll see. Can't wait for it, to be fair. It is going to be one of those moments of the season.
That's it. But before that, we've both got to play games, and we've got a very tough game. And I think this is another point to talk about, is the fact that although we both play midweek, City have an extra day on us playing on the Wednesday, but also they're in the second leg of their tie and they already have an aggregate lead, whereas we're going straight to play in Prague away in the first leg. How much of an impact do you think that makes in terms of the personnel and sort of the attitudes of both games as well?
I always like away first.
Yeah.
I think always bringing that second game back at Anfield. Look what happened with Barca. We don't have to say it over and over again. Regardless of who we play, how good they're playing. If we got second leg at Anfield, I always back Liverpool to go through. Yeah. So hopefully we can come back with a draw or a win.
Yeah.
But even if we get a loss, I've got Anfield European Classic night written all over it. If we come back with a defeat, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's always hard, isn't it, against these teams that you don't really watch on a regular basis. You can look at Google and you can look at form and you can look at how they're getting on. I mean, they're top of their league, but what is the quality of that league?
Yeah,
we're top of our league and we know it's one of the best in the world. So top versus top. It should be a Liverpool win. It should be a straightforward Liverpool win. I mean, I'm saying that now with confidence, but God knows what happens in Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, well, I can't really see anything other than a draw or a win.
Yeah,
I don't know much about them. Do you know much about them?
Not particularly. Not this season. Yeah. I think they've had a good run in their group. Going
with this shit Sky Sports pundits, isn't it?
I mean, I can't lie.
Taron, what do you think is Sparta's form at the moment?
We're struggling. We are struggling. You know what it is? It's because we only care about this City game this week. If there was only one game this week, I beg it was just a City one. And I think that's the main focus at this point. I think
the other thing, though, it's not even City, is it? We've got United next week. It's like non-stop.
It just never ends. It just never ends. I think
we've got a potential of City going 4 points ahead.
Yeah.
Sparta going through to the next round. United going through to the next round. That is a statement.
It could be a good 2 weeks.
Within 7 days, we could be hand on three different, cups potentially. So it's a big week, man. It
really is a big week. They have to make sure they have their protein and everything. They're going to make sure they need to be nice and fueled up. And I think we need to be ready for it. And the other point is City obviously going to rest a lot of their players. 3-1 at home against Copenhagen. You'd think that not many of the big stars are going to feature. But Liverpool running thin, as you already know. Is this going to work in our favour, though, in the sense of being able to give a lot of the players, some time to build up the fitness? Obviously, Sob had a few minutes on the weekend. Nunes had a few. This could be the game towards the end. Bring them on, get them a few minutes in their legs. We never know. Salah might be ready to come back and play. Give him a few more minutes. Obviously, we don't really know who else is back in terms of injury-wise. But could this be a good game for us in terms of warming up for the City one, as opposed to being a bad thing?
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. I can't see him starting an A side.
Yeah.
I can't see him starting an A side, but I could definitely see him bringing on some A players towards the end, 100%. And I think you're right. It's more about getting that match fitness. I know it's not the greatest game. It's away, it's Europe, but any minutes are good minutes before City. Yeah. We don't want, the first time coming on after an injury being City. Can you imagine that? Being off for how long? And then the first game you come on against that beast of a machine. So yeah, you're right. I think they will. I think he'll have the big hitters on the bench. I think the bench, when you look at the bench on Thursday, we're gonna be like, whoa, that is a decent bench. But then when you look at the first team lineup, you're gonna be like, okay, we can see what's going on here.
Yeah,
it'd be to be fair, he's not afraid to put a B team on in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, he has, to be fair, quite consistently, and he has brought the big hitters on towards the end.
Yeah.
I can't see him changing his tactics, so we'll expect the same, I reckon.
Do you think this might be a game where we see Adrian as well? Hopefully not, but it could be.
You reckon?
You never know.
I can't see that one. I don't think he's lost his marbles that much. He's gone
from Adrian.
He's gone from like the 15-year-old debut to the 50-year-old.
Hey, Adrian, he's in every single picture. You think he'd like led us to all the finals, every single win, the way he's celebrating. So maybe just get him one of these appearances.
Does he get a medal? Does he get a medal?
That's probably what he's thinking. Is get me in this game. I might get a medal.
Get me in the picture. Yeah, I might get a medal. Yeah, mate, he's funny, man. He's funny. He's always on the interviews on like the Liverpool FC like website and stuff. You're like, what? I didn't realize you were still here, mate.
I loved him when he was at West Ham, but when he came to us and after his howlers, no, I couldn't get behind him after that.
He had some comical games.
He was good when he started there, and that was about it.
Joker, man. But yeah, looking forward to it, man. We'll see. You know what? Loving being a Liverpool fan at the moment. There's so much content to watch. Even though I couldn't be asked to watch the Nottingham one, but in the grand scheme of things, it was probably a good idea. But yeah, let's see, man. European nights, Liverpool all about Europe, and then we're all about the big games. City, bring it on.
That is it. That's the declaration there sorted. We're ready. Hopefully, everyone else is ready.
I'm wondering if we should do a post City pod or just wait till post United, and we could potentially be completely down in the dumps, or we'll be doing the podcast from the ceiling.
I can't deal with the depressing United review podcast. That was a tough watch for everyone involved. So
we're going to redeem ourselves.
We'll decide.
We're going to redeem ourselves after that one, man. That was ridiculous.
We'll decide on the fly for that one. But let's finish off. Let's get with enjoyment. I believe you've got a game for us.
I've made this one up out of the spot. It probably won't even work out, but I'm going to call it bro-in-law, and step bro.
Right. Okay.
And I'm going to go Liverpool captains.
Wow.
Who's your bro? Who's your brother? Who's your brother-in-law that you got through marriage? And who's your step bro that you had no choice but came into the family?
Okay.
And Pendo, Gerrard, and Van Dijk.
Wow. Okay. Now, if we're going off wrong, I feel like Van Dijk's probably the closest to both of us in terms of it. So that might be an interesting one. Might be some illegitimates involved there. I think Steven Gerrard's got to be bro, isn't he? 100%. I think he is. You go to war for him, for the fact. You fight with him when he makes some mistakes, but you got to go for Stevie G for bro. What do you think? Are you going for bro then?
No, go on. You do yours first, then
I'll tell you first. Okay, sweet.
Go on, Charles. You going Stevie brother?
Yeah. After all the gond that's gone on with Jordan Henderson, he's been relegated. He really has been relegated. So I think in terms of if I wanted someone to be my Jidjaf, I was like, who am I going to let my band get married to? It might be a scary thought, but it probably will have to be Mr. Virgil van Dijk. I mean,
very scary. When you put it like that, when you put it like that, that's a very scary thought.
But at the same time, you got free bodyguard. You know what I mean? Everywhere you go, no one will mess with you because, you know what I mean? He's a big guy. Yeah. For a fact you'll be looked after. So Virgil van Dijk, I'll have him as a brother-in-law. We'll have him at the parties, get a few beg down him. I think he'll be all right.
I think you're right. I think after the Hendo debacle. How's he getting on at Ajax, actually? Have you been following him?
Well, I saw that he won a corner or something the other day, and everyone loved the fact that he hyped up the crowd. So apparently he's carrying on being a passion merchant in Amsterdam as well. But Gareth Southgate seems to be liking him, so I wouldn't be surprised if Henderson's on the plane to Germany for the Euros. So
I think Gareth's going to watch him just so that he's got excuses for when he does play for England or puts him in the squad. He'll be like, yeah, I've gone over to watch him and he's playing all right. Nobody really cares.
I saw a video and it was Henderson shooting from outside the box or something like that.
Yeah.
And all the Liverpool fans were commenting and saying, nice to see that old tricks don't die hard whatsoever, because you can guarantee at least twice a game, ball would fall to Henderson on the edge of the box and he'd try and shoot first time and end up in Rosehead. So nice to know that nothing's changed whatsoever there.
I feel bad for him, man. I do feel bad, but I don't know. Do you think he would have been playing a lot this season if he stayed?
I know. If he'd stayed, he'd have got his role. He'd have been probably the most important player that we had.
And I tell you what, I know Origi had to go, but if he would have had a few games this season as well, man. Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the players that have left, and like in the current situation we're in, they would have got some games.
I mean, Milner would have been perfect for.
I'm telling you, yeah, Milner, Carabao Cup captain, he would have been.
I know.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Bargy Gerrard.
What do you reckon? Are you agreeing?
Yeah,
with
man.
That,
you know what? I agree with that. I think I'm 100% with that. Step row has to be Hendo, the two legends at the moment. Gerrard's going to go down as the legend of legends, and then Van Dijk's doing a great job at the moment.
I know. Looks like we have to get Van Dijk's stuff sorted then soon.
No, mate.
Invite him
it's
into
a scary thought, though, isn't it? Scary.
It's a very scary thought, and we'll leave on that scary thought as well. Let everyone else think about it too.
It's been good, man. It's been good.
That's it. It's been a great podcast. It could be a great week, could be an awful one, but regardless, we'll be here to enjoy it. We've got to make sure we need to be praying every single day this week. Make sure I might have to go to the Godwara extra this week just to make sure that we get everything sorted. But we shall see you next time on the AapnaReds podcast, and hopefully we are happy. Hopefully we've got some Jumgilan, got some Gradasman on. And hopefully we're not sat here in tears crying into a beg or a cup of jar. But that's all to be found out. And we'll see you next time on the AapnaReds podcast.
Chunga. See you later.